Alright, so it is February 7th of 2013. I always think 2012 still. And I haven't made a video in quite a while, and there is and there isn't a reason for that. I know I could have taken a couple minutes to do that at some point, but I haven't. What I'm standing in right now actually used to be our garage, and as you can see, it no longer is a garage. Take a look around here, nice windows, and it's now going to be a bedroom because our little one is going to be born around April 8th, and we need to get this ready. So we've had some work done by the Amish, and they converted it, and they put the drywall up and insulated it and leveled the floor out and everything, and so it's not concrete floor anymore. And we've had electrical and everything run. I did the mudding or taping and the mudding on the drywall, and I have primed it. And I did that till about 3 o'clock this morning, and then I got up again at 7 and started all over again. So there are a lot of little things that I need to do, making window sills, and I have to make a door for that right there. That's just a blanket trying to keep the cold air from coming in. I've got to make doors for that right there, which is the crawl space that goes under the house, and I've got to make a door or something, like a mirror or something to cover where the water heater is and all that. And then of course the block all the way around here, around the room, I've got to make something to make that look decent too. And a little bit of insulation on that block. So I've been doing a lot of things with that, getting this so we can, my wife and I can move into this room to make the master bedroom, and then the two girls that we have now are moving into what is the master bedroom that my wife and I have right now, and then their room will be the new little one's room. So I've been doing that lately. Another thing I've been doing that I haven't really mentioned, well, I haven't mentioned it at all on YouTube, anyways. I mentioned it on Facebook a couple times. I have a podcast that I've started. If you don't know what a podcast is, basically, it can be a video recording, but it can also just be an audio recording only. And that's what I've been doing. I've been doing just audio. And it is a recording, kind of like a show. You have episodes, and you have to have media hosts, things like that. But you do the RSS feed. You see the little orange boxes with like a speaker looking waves on it. And you can subscribe to them, and it'll download whenever there's a new episode to a podcast that you subscribe to. Mine is called Exposing Me. That's XPOSINGME. And I have the website, exposingme.com. And it's a podcast about family. So anything and everything family. I have 2 episodes up. Well, the first one is about legendary figures like Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy. And when should we tell our kids the truth about those legendary figures? Or should we even tell them? Should we just let them figure out on their own? There's a couple other things that are talked about in that episode. And that episode right there is about 36 minutes long or so. My second episode is about family and what is family and who defines family and who do we consider family, things like that. That episode is about 25 or 26 minutes long, something like that. You can find it on iTunes. There are a lot of different directories that I've submitted it to, so you can find it on iTunes. You can, if you have a podcast app like Downcast or Pocket Cast or anything like that, you can just search for Exposing Me. Or you can search for my actual name, and it should come up also. And every Wednesday is when I'm posting those. Next week's episode is going to be about I want to embarrass my kids. So we all have stories where our parents had embarrassed us when we were kids in front of our friends or just not on public, things like that. My mom definitely did that to me every time she had a chance. It wasn't being malicious or anything like that. It was just, silly, funny. Just wanted to embarrass me because she could. So things like that. So I'm going to be talking about that on next week's episode. Well, that's a lot of what's been going on here lately. Watching my nephew, my brother's baby boy, that's about 4.5, 5 months old, born last August. Yeah. And so I don't know how long it's going to be until I put up another video, but I may start doing it a little bit more often now, and of course I'll be talking about the podcast because that's something that I've really been into here lately. Podcasting and photography have been a big part of my hobbies and interests. So I do put a good amount of research into each podcast episode, and hopefully that doesn't really dry it out whenever I'm talking about it. I try to keep it fun and put my own life stories and things like that in it to keep people interested, because I like to talk about my own family and things like that. And a lot of people like to talk about their own family. Family is very important. It's one of the most important things in this life, so that's one of the reasons I made this podcast. You know, lots of people, I would say most people, like to talk about their family, or they have family, or they can relate to family in some way, shape, or form. So there's that. Go check that out. If I have time, I will put links in the description for that. I will definitely put one for exposingme.com. There are episodes there that you can listen to directly from that website. If you just go to podcast episodes, and then it'll have those 2 episodes that are on there as of today. It'll have those. You click on them, it'll take you to the show notes that gives a rundown of everything that's talked about in the podcast. And also has links to any references or other sites that I used in preparing that episode. And you can click right on the player, right there on the page, and it'll play the podcast episode for you. And so you can subscribe to that podcast episode, and then you'll get a notice every single time that I put a podcast episode up, which should be every Wednesday. So do that, and I will talk to you all next time. I'll try to make it not so long in between these videos. I've just been having a lot of things going on, and I just haven't really taken the time to put the effort into making one of these vlogs. I do have a YouTube a YouTube channel for Exposing Me for the podcast. I don't have anything up on it yet. That is going to be for visual aspects of family and things like that I put together, and those aren't going to be released on a regular basis, but there will be a section on the website, exposingme.com, where you can go to the YouTube channel. You can see videos and things on there as well, but you can also go to youtube.com/exposingme or /user/exposingme. Either one works. Alright, so that's it. I'm going to let you go. I will talk to you all later. I got to go to bed because I have to work tonight. See you next time. Leave comments, questions, concerns below. Check out my podcast if you listen to podcasts. If you don't, maybe consider it. It's something to do on the way to and from work, or when you're out jogging or walking or whatever. There's a whole world of podcasting out there. So I will talk to you all later, and yep, that's it.